Ready for a new style? Call AA Salon in Wheeler Springs Plaza, 775-764-1898.
We have just about every walk of life that comes through our doors. We have dads that are single raising their children. We have moms that are single raising their kids. We have grandparents raising their kids. We have people low income on Social Security that just do not have the ability. They're working, but if you look, number one, jobs right now, even though they advertise, it's really hard to get a job right now. It's very difficult. I don't know if people are just delayed and they're going through a new process, but where some person could usually get hired in a couple days after an interview, we're seeing a couple months. And so that has created such a problem for these folks that are struggling to make ends meet because they only make $1,200. Add to that, most landlords want 3 times their monthly income or the amount of the rent to be made in income. So if somebody is making $1,500 a month, that means that they can afford a $500 home. There are no $500 homes in Pahrump or in Nye County or for Las Vegas for that matter. So that is where we're seeing such a horrible time of not having affordable housing, of not having housing set aside that is strictly for lower income folks to be able to make it. It's not a handout, it's a hand up. And that's what we truly need, affordable housing. I've got a list of people right now that is just trying to find a home. We even have people with Section 8 vouchers that cannot even find a home, that have 6-month extensions because they cannot find any place to live here. People, for the majority, do not want to be homeless. Do I have a handful of people that I know here in town that want to remain homeless? Yes. Is that the majority? Absolutely not. It's such a minority, it's almost not even worth discussing. Most people do not want to go out in the desert and sleep on the ground. Some of them, yes, do make money, and that's what they use to spend for, clothing, the few items that they may need. A lot of them will come here. Especially if we have it, we make sure that they have it with bedding and so forth. But for food, and they usually get a stipend. A lot of times too on welfare, Medicaid, they have to make sure that they stay on top to keep re-enrolled, and so a lot of times they fall off. We see a lot of mental illness right now. Mental illness has been always high, but I think we've seen a huge uptick since COVID. I think that created such problems for a lot of our people, especially when you're masked and you can't see faces. So we're seeing a lot more mental illness. Sometimes mental illness is treated with drugs and alcohol, sadly. But what do we have here in Pahrump to help those with mental illness and drug addictions? Nothing. If I have those individuals and we can convince them to get help, we take them to Vegas. That is another area that we are super lacking here that we really need to have to be able to help these people.